They will never call it Nigeria. It may be a Fulani Sultanate of something like that. Sultanate of Nigeria or Sultanate of anyhow they want to say it. But the head of the snake is cut off. Now, I remember what our um, Prime Minister did and the cabinet by creating that bill on that date, 02/26/2026. We are going to welcome, we are going to allow the minority Christians in the north and the middle belt to have a place, a sense of belonging in Biafra land. And Nigeria is panicking because what is happening in Iran today, they never expected it. And thanks to DJ Trump for what he has done. No any other president has ever done what he has done this very present time. He is the man who is going to make everything possible. The peace will soon appear. Board of Peace will take over. Will take over United Nations because they are evil. Evil not to, I think I'm sure they have left it. But we pray that as we continue to ride on, our freedom is very, very near. And it's at hand. It's in our hands. We have to take it by force. A time is coming. You see, when they say take over your land, take over your offices and everything, you see those things that are in our land, all the governors and local government chairmen, all of them, they will start running away when the time comes. I thank you, every one of you that is on this space. I can see my honorable Emeka Oragu is here. I can see Eunice is here. And another one, James Adinu is here. Every one of you that is here, I say you are welcome to grace this very important, biggest space in the Biafra community platform. Thank you very much. I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, my co-host, Ben. As I said, today is a UK Town Hall meeting. So this space will end. When it ends, all of us will move there and join the UK Town Hall meeting. So let's listen to Donald Trump because I still have some words from what he said yesterday. Yeah, so that after that, we now look deeply into what Iran has been doing in Nigeria that is making the Nigerian terrorist government to cry. Initially, they said the man was not dead, that he will come and address them. Just like their hope of 62 virgins. They did not know that the man was already enjoying his 62 virgins. And they were here hoping that in the next few hours, Adamu said he's coming, he's not dead, he's coming to address the people. You see?
72 virgins.
Yes, so 72, he's there enjoying his 72. In fact, they'll give him more than 72 because he was a leader. Wafi. Let's play.
And stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere.
Let me
When
take
we
it
are
back.
finished, you will face certain death. Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. May God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May God bless the United States of America. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, President Trump, for keeping to your promise.
Thank you.
Yes, I will be playing this at interval because he is also talking to us, the Biafran people. This will be probably your only chance for generations. Not generations, long-term solution that this man has given to the people of Iran. For generations. He said, now is the time to seize control of your destiny. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like the same wordings we've been using telling Biafrans every time? The answer is yes. That is what Donald Trump said to the Iranian people because he saw their seriousness. If you look at it, the way he presented this, you will see that the first element I saw there was, what I will call internal rot, because Iran's regime rotted, with from within. From within. How did this rotten stage started? From economic collapse. There has been mass poverty in Iran. A younger generation that have never known anything. But they had completely rejected it. Nothing. And if you look at the connection between this Iran internal rot, you will see that Nigeria's internal rot is equally documented and advancing every day. Now, what am I trying to say here? 133 million Nigerians in multi-dimension, now they are in poverty. In a multi-dimension way, they are in poverty, which is the highest number ever recorded. And the same thing was replicated in Iran. What is happening in Iran and Venezuela is also happening in Nigeria because they are in the same chain. They are in the same ecosystem. They work together. So you could see that the Naira is also losing about 70% of its value in 2 years. We've seen fuel subsidy removal without social safety net destroying ordinary family life. We have seen more than 50,000 people killed by terrorists in the first 2 years of Tinubu alone. We have seen more than 2,000 villages under bandit control in the northern part of Nigeria, in the middle belt, and also in Biafra land. We have seen all 23 local government areas in Benue State being attacked. So the body politic of Nigeria is rotting, not from Biafra agitation, no, but from its own structural failure to govern justly. I also spotted out something from that same speech again, which I called international isolation, because exactly is repeated in Nigeria. You see, this Iran isolation was built over years of sanctions. And a IAEA report and the international community growing acceptance that Iran was not going to change. Everybody saw it. America waited, gave a lot of warnings. They said, no, we are not going to change. So Nigeria is also building that isolation right now. Country of particular concern has been designated to Nigeria, that Nigeria is a country of particular concern. And I told you a few days ago that this year, this time around, this designation is different from the one of 2020, because this has now is a congressional designation. Unlike 2020, that was just what? A presidential order. One person designated. And that time that Donald Trump designated Nigeria CPC, he waived all the consequences because it was a one-man decision. But now the game has changed. I made reference to the Appropriation Act that has been signed into law by the same Rally Moore and his committee member who has submitted this report. So Nigeria has entered one chance. I'm not going to dwell on that. If you were not here, you can go back and listen to the space, or you do your research. The space we had on, I think, my co-host Ben, that was Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday. So you can go back and listen and know that Nigeria has entered one chance they can never come out of it, because things have changed. It has been signed into law. There is nothing like waiver for them this time around. And this commenced since October 31st, 2025. So the congressional report has recommended sanctions, visa restriction, fund cutting, and all that. And Senator Ted Cruz, Nigeria Response Freedom Accountability Act, everything put together. And now you could see the exposure of Nigeria's deep alliance with a regime that America just destroyed for being the world #1 state sponsor of terrorism. They are #1. Imagine all this Gulf region now against Iran. That should tell you something. They kept religion aside and said, no, this country will destroy all of us on earth. If we don't work together with the United States of America to pull down this regime, they will destroy everyone. Canada backed them up, even UK of all people. UK said, we dey here, we support Donald Trump, we support the American people in what they are doing. So it's not a child's play, it was a threat to the entire world. So the international window on Nigerian Christian persecution is wider open today than it has ever been. Now, there is also enabling environment because Trump did not just bomb Iran to build an empire. No, he struck to create enabling environment for the Iranian people to take over their own government. The Biafran part is different. A democratic referendum, which we have already conducted. We have done that. So we are working now to create our enabling environment. We have structures that we need more funding to build it up to, to come out, to stand out for people to see. I don't know if you are following what I'm trying to say here. Our government has created that enabling environment for us. We are not in search for it. We have it. But what do we need now is unity for us to come together. Because the Biafra Republic government in exile is the only legitimate government. If you also look at that statement from Donald Trump, you could see another element. Government in exile ready to lead. When Iran's regime fell, someone needed to be ready to govern. And you could see that Reza, exile government provided that framework. That is legitimacy. Internationally recognized alternative. So that government had already told Donald Trump, we are here, even though we've been in exile. We are here for 47 years. You see? So if you connect, you could have already told you what all those words means to Biafra when we started this space. I'm now picking out some of the words directly to expand more on it. That when we are talking about the government in exile, it is not only us that is telling the United States of America that we are ready. Iran had already done that. They had their government in exile. So the Biafra Republic government now is Biafra Reza right now as we speak. We have our Prime Minister, His Excellency NKERE. He has cabinet members. He has legislators. An international legal team, they are there. Professional lobbies, they are there. What again do you want? Why are you sitting on the fence? We have a referendum with relationship with the US senior officials. And we now have the bill 0226-2026 that guarantees the legislation that guarantees protection for the Christian who will need to do during the transition. When the hour of Biafra's freedom comes, there is a government ready to govern, not a movement scrambling to organize. No. A government already built, a government already functioning, a government already listening from Washington, D.C. What do we want? We need to come together. We have our lobbies there. What else do you want? All that we need from you is your J and your Jemba financial support. Our government is there in the field fighting for you every single day. Come off the sideline. Support your Biafra Republic government in exile. Don't go and throw your money to tout. We need your Eje and your Ejema. Do it not because I am asking you for it or our government is asking you for it. Do it because freedom has never been free. And the government that is building yours need your own partnership. They need your partnership as well. So I'm using this opportunity to call on the doctor in London from Plateau State. I'm using this opportunity to call on the engineer in UK, in Dubai, in everywhere in US that is from Kaduna. I'm using this to call the lawyer in Benue that is living in Houston. I'm using this to call on every businessman and woman in Lagos from Taraba State. You know in your bones that the Sharia Council meant every word when they said no power on earth can make them change their laws. You know that the Security Cooperation Agreement does not touch Sharia. You know that your people are still waking up tomorrow under the same system, in the same danger, with the same absence of governmental protection on them. Now a government, not a social media page, not organization, a government has passed a law that formally and constitutionally guarantees your citizenship in a Biafra that is being built right now as I speak to you in this space. Now I'm speaking to you like a pastor. Before it is too late, support that institution that has built that law. Go to our website, www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org. You will see, click diplomatic engagement. You will see things for yourself. Click our news. You will see things for yourself. We are not running a fanfare. Our government has done its part. It is time for the community to do theirs. So to every person who has been waiting for a sign, President Trump has said, for many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. He said that to Iranian people. No president for many years, and for many years, my people, since 1966 till date, we have been asking for help. And the only country that could give us an open ear is the United States of America. Through our lobbying firm, through His Excellency Ogechukwu NKERE. So think about the Biafran parallel in it. How many years is that for us? 56. Which one is higher? 47 and 56. Ours is longer. So many years we have sought for recognition. So many years we have sought for a hearing from the world's most powerful nation. Our brigade has spent years knocking on the door in Washington, D.C. And in this year, bam, 2026, America puts Nigeria on its highest religious freedom watch list. What else do you want your government to do for you? What evidence do you need again? America delivered a report to the White House documenting all the atrocities, documenting the genocide that your own government, Tinubu and the wife and the entire cabinet, including Ribadu, Matawela, all of them, Sultan of Sokoto, including your legitimate governors in Biafra land, all the senators, Akpabio is their lead, have been denying. Our government gathered all that document and gave to United States of America. American troops are on Nigerian soil, fighting the same terrorists, sharing information. So the hearing that Biafrans prayed for is happening right now. The doors that were closed are open. The season of action is now. Donald Trump told the Iranian, this is the moment for action. Do not let it pass. And our government is telling you the same thing. If you allow this moment to pass you by, your name will be sorry. I am telling you. Because what is required now, they are not telling you go and join our security unit back home. No. Our prime minister is not telling you follow me to Washington DC. No, all that the government is asking is your cash, AJ and Ejema. That's it. That's what the government is asking. So before we now go to what happened in Iran, and then with this, because this Iranian Nigerian connection is very deep, I will yield my mic here. Okay, there's nobody on speaker, so I don't know if I should continue. Is there anybody that wants to say anything? Please, if you are just joining, kindly share this space, because we have a town hall meeting this night. We will not spend a lot of time. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Briggy Space once again. I love you all, and happy Sunday and happy new month. I don't know if I'm still being heard. I've not even seen any sign of emoji. Is it that I'm talking to myself?
We're hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm sure everybody will.
We are hearing
Okay,
you.
my brother. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think nobody is ready to speak.
Continue,
Okay.
continue dishing out the real thing now. you know
Ah,
you are the Mrs. Academics, academician.
Mbao. Mbao.
No, for us, yeah,
Mbao.
for us, whether they like it or not, we can tell the truth. May they go hung transformer.
Mbao. We need to we need to contribute. My people say if you're Ikemewo, that means one person cannot know it all. Okay, so let's continue. While anybody that is free, when you request for the mic, we will definitely. Okay, 1 million is here, so let 1 million give his submission before we now go to Iran. Our minister 1 million. Come do, Medi. Hey, he has been kicked out to China. Hey, Minister 1 million, can you request the mic again? Thank you so much.
I see everybody.
Oh, you are there? Okay. Now I can see you. Go ahead. Welcome.
The good thing is that we are winning, and I'm very happy for the progress so far. It has been a battle for me to join the space all this while due to my location anyway for now. But I find it very, very important to always, be here because staying a day without, communicating with my people is like no life. So that's why I find it very, very, very imperative to make sure that at least I'm always here. And I also encourage each and every one of us because this is exactly what we need at this particular time. We have seen it all. We have seen how God is, doing, doing His work. And it is a hard time for we, the Biafrans, to take very good use of these advantages that we have at this particular time. Because I don't think that there's any time for us to waste at this point. Uh, Now we know and we understand how the politics of the world, how it works. And today we have good and great leaders who are taking decisive decisions at the right time. So and this is an advantage for each and every one of us. If we watch right from the beginning, even when we started, even before now, during the days of our forefathers, we have all longed to see for a day like this. We have all waited, expected it to see a day like this, but we didn't. Remember, they have succeeded in blocking everywhere, including the media, even when they starve over more than 5 billion people to death. This is what they insisted, continue to do because, the heart of a wicked man is very, very evil. It's very, very hard to change. But please, pardon me, my host. I will just mute my mic now because I'm still under a subway and it's coming now. So the noise might distract. I will join in a little brief because I have a lot to talk to my people concerning what we are discussing today. Thank you very much. And we should remember our town hall meeting today.
Okay. No wahala. We will wait for you. No wahala. When you come, you just notify us. We will give you the mic. Thank you so much. At least Biafrans have heard your voice. Thank you so much. God bless you and happy new month once again. Biafrans, yesterday we contributed and supported our government with 110 ejemba and 22,000 eje from a Briggy space. So the circle have started again, and every Saturday, because we want to be doing that. Yes, at least that money will go a long way. Even though it was small, it will go a long way. So please, no amount is too small and no amount is too big. Kindly pay it and then share your receipt with me in my inbox, my back channel. I will put it up. Our sister Didi Stella have started today with 5,000 AJ. I say God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. It's going to be a great month for each and every one of us. Don't worry, the more you give, the more you receive. That is the law. So what happened in Iran?
From one to
We
three,
need to understand this.
go to your terrorist
And
page.
all that we are going to say in the next few hours has a great connection to the Biafran people. A lot. You know, this Iran's Islamic Republic started in 1979. And this same man, Ayatollah,
Go to your terrorist
led the revolution that overthrew Shah, and he replaced a monarchy, dictatorship in that country by himself. So, and what he did was to export the Islamic revolution to the entire world. Now, when I say entire world, you begin to imagine the distance, how this Islamic revolution have traveled all the way from Iran to Nigeria. And Nigeria adopted it to the extent that they will come out openly and challenge the United States of America that they can never stop Sharia. That's boldness. Something was giving them that backup and courage to do that. So that's why I said the snake head, the snake head has been cut off, because you need to cut off the head of the snake and then the body will roam to wherever it wants to. Iran was the snake head and it has been cut off because from day one, the new regime built what the intelligence community call axis of resistance. Axis of resistance. And this axis of resistance is a global network of armed proxy groups, you know, and these armed proxy groups, they carried out Iran's agenda under local names. And one of such names are what is it called? Hezbollah in Lebanon. So all these are answerable to Tehran. That's where you got Hamas in Gaza. That's where you got the Houthis in Yemen. That's where you got the Shia militias in Iraq. So these are Iran's hands. Iran's weapons, they use their weapons. These are Iran soldiers. And that is where you also had groups like Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda. Did you not see how they are spreading so fast? So, and these are all the franchise of the revolution. They were funded by this Iran directly. So for 47 years, this network, which we have all seen, has been terrorizing the whole world. But nobody had the balls to face this battle. Nobody had the balls to tell Iran, enough is enough. No one. They were only making noise, pampering Iran, petting Iran. Oh, don't do. Okay, what do you want? Okay, why don't you do it like this? Come, let us negotiate. And you could see that these groups have killed. Go back and listen to Donald Trump. Because of time, I can't go back and play. He gave statistics of the number of people that all this group now, these are the franchise to Iran, have killed 600,000 American soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. And these people have destabilized Lebanon. They have destabilized Syria, Yemen, even Nigeria, they have destabilized it. They have destabilized Iraq so completely that those countries now barely function as a state today. We all know it. We have heard that Iran even bombed the US embassy in Beirut in 1983 through Hezbollah. They did it and they killed 63 people. They also bombed Iran US Marine. They bombed a US Marine barracks and they killed 241 American soldiers in a single day. So when you see Trump said enough is enough, it has reached the tip of his esophagus. He said, no, I cannot take this anymore. They have kidnapped American citizens. As they are kidnapping American citizens, their own franchise back in Nigeria, they are doing the same thing because they have a template. Boko Haram, Fulani, all of them, ISWAP, everyone, they are all in Nigeria because Nigeria has 22 states. We will come to understand how they now have this number of terrorist groups in Nigeria. And through all of this, we've seen decades of death, right, left, center. So this has been happening until Trump, after months of nuclear negotiation with Iran, which continued, enriching them with uranium. Trump stepped in, negotiating. They said, no, we will not stop. We will not stop. They bullshit everything. And you could also see that same time that IAEA confirmed that Iran was weeks away from weapons-grade material after 47 years of provocation. So Trump gave the order. Operation Epic Fury began in February 2028. The US part, they call it Operation Epic Fury, while Israel have their own name, the Roaring Lion. So by the end of the first day, most of Iranian military infrastructure had been struck because the man said, no, he's not backing down. Its nuclear facilities at Natanz had been struck down, and in Fordo, and in Pachin, and in Iraq, hit with bunker busters. Its navy destroyed, and its supreme leader, bam, the head was cut off. So Trump's message to the Iranian people was direct. The snake head has been cut off. The body now belongs to you. That is why he said, it is in your hands. Take your government. This is your hour. And that is the title of our space today. It couldn't fit into here. This is our hour as Biafran people. So if you look at what is happening, you will also see that, because it is very, very critical to understand it in our context, like Biafran context. Because the fall of the Iranian regime did not happen because of military strike alone. The military strike was the final act. So the Iranian people had been preparing the ground for years. You could see the 2009 Green Movement. You could see the 2019 protest. How many people were killed after the Green Movement? 1,500 people were killed in a single month. We could also see in 2022 Women Life Freedom Uprising after Masha was murdered by the police. And in the late 2025 and early 2026, we've seen mass uprising, which has been the largest since 1979 revolution started. And this has triggered the total collapse of the Iranian regime. Power cut off, water shortages, everything happened. And because Iranian people said, we are not backing down, we are tired. So that was why I said that if you look at it, you could see the pattern, the internal rot followed by international isolation, then the decisive enabling action that Trump just dropped. The people rose up, the world documented it, American acted. And now Trump is telling the people, fill that vacuum, don't leave it open, because you could see in social media, they've already said, oh, that the sun will take over. That is a vacuum Trump is saying. Fill it up. Don't create that vacuum. Take what is yours. So Reza now, the exiled crown prince of Iran, which has been a government in exile with a popular mandate and international recognition, is already calling on Iranian security forces to stand down and support the democratic transition. A government that was built while in exile. And it sounds very familiar with our situation. Because Briggy is building the exact same thing, not for a military moment, but for a democratic moment. For the day when the international conditions are right and the Biafran people take their sovereignty through, coming together, funding, through recognition from the United States of America. We have done a referendum. So please let nobody be saying, oh, US, come and condone it. Which other referendum do you want again? We have document to prove. The only thing we need now is your Eje and your Ejema. That's all we need right now. So Nigeria has been getting very deep connection with the this terrorist Ayatollah. They have. Because while Nigerians watch the Iran strike on CNN and Al Jazeera as a foreign news story, something happening far away in the Middle East, unrelated to their lives, the mainstream media, Nigerian media, was busy making a choice, a deliberate choice. They refused to connect the dots. They refused to let their citizens know what was building between them and Iran. They refused. They were hiding it. And this night, with the help of my speakers, we are going to connect the dots. Every one of them with sources. We are not going to give you babes. We are going to connect the dots. So we are going to start with something that sounds very innocent in the beginning, but we are going to understand why it is sounding innocent. Now, if you go back to December 1st, 2025, let's start from there. Iran made an extraordinary announcement. And this announcement was a new gold deposit that they have discovered at a private-owned Shadan gold mine in the province of in their southern part. And the discovery was officially validated by the Iran's Ministry of Industry. And the numbers were staggering that time. So that mine was found to hold approximately 7.95 million tons of oxide gold and 53.1 million tons of sulfide gold ore. So when you combine it, it gives you a total of nearly 61 million tons. Now, let's understand what is happening here. Because this would have made it potentially the largest single gold body in Iran's entire inventory, surpassing even the previous largest one that they had in their country, in the northern part, that holds about 43 million tons. So this one was was 61 million tons. The previous one was 43 million tons. Now, let's put the scale of this discovery in a context that we will understand much better, because I want to arrive at something. You know, this Iran currently operates 15 active gold mines and approximately 300 tons of total gold resources distributed across its territory. So this discovery alone could transform Iran's entire strategic economic position. Keep in mind, Iran is one of the countries that has CPC like Nigeria. Now, follow me, just stay with me. Now, that discovery of this gold could transform Iran's entire strategic economic position. Iran's central bank, which the governor said in September 2025 that Iran was among the 5 central banks in the world buying the most gold in 2023 and 2024, immediately identified this discovery as critical to stabilizing their country's collapsing economy under Western sanctions. Remember I told you the rough side of it, that their own citizens have gone through years of impoverished condition, which is also playing out in Nigeria. So they had lost most of its value in Iran already before they now discovered this gold. So the inflation was already destroying ordinary Iranian families. They couldn't feed. And now suddenly a massive gold deposit was sitting in the eastern deserts of Iran. Now, let us look at now the geopolitical significance of what I'm talking about, all this grammar. And then we put it in our context. Now, Iran, under these maximum sanctions, just like what they're beginning to do now to Nigeria, cannot easily, I want to tell you why they ran to Nigeria. So under the heavy sanctions placed on them by United States of America, they cannot easily develop this mind with Western technology, not to even financing them. because Western mining companies cannot operate in Iran because of sanction. Even Western banks cannot fund Iranian mining project because of sanction. So these sanction regimes now that was slowly strangling the economy of Iran was designed to prevent exactly this kind of strategic mineral development. Because if they do that, they will have enough money for their nuclear weapon that the United States of America and the whole world is kicking against them having. I don't know if I'm making sense. So can you hear me? So Iran now, because of this, had to run for mining partnership. Are you seeing the connection? You remember in the report we discussed the other day that China has been warned to withdraw illegal mining in Nigeria. China is not mining alone in Nigeria. So what did Iran come to do? Iran had to run to meet mining partners, go meet them for finance, and the kind of South-South cooperation that bypassed that Western sanction. Where did they run to? They came to Nigeria. You know, Nigeria itself has significant mining infrastructure, even though it is in a local context. They have mineral wealth expertise using the help from Chinese, and critically, politically aligning with Iran through shared membership in OIC, because Iran is a member of OIC. Iran is a member of Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. And Iran is also a D8 organization of developing 8 Islamic nations. So Nigeria said, come, we will help you to surpass the United States sanction. We have the facilities to help you. Did you see what is happening? So when they discovered this gold, they were so happy that, oh, their economy will improve. But then, because of the sanctions from the United States, they were restrained. They couldn't use their technology. They couldn't have any finance tied with anyone. They couldn't even work with Western mining companies because those ones will also be sanctioned, which is what is going to play out with anyone that will have any business to do with Nigeria, as Nigeria has been designated as CPC. I don't know if I'm making the connection better. So going back now on December 17, 2025, 16 days before this discovery was made, this their gold discovery was made, you could see that the Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs had a formal strategic alignment meeting in Abuja with the newly appointed ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to Nigeria. Go back, it is there, we tweeted it. And his name is Raja. He had meeting with them. And in that meeting, Nigeria Ambassador Omar formally expressed gratitude and congratulations to Iran on this their gold mine that they have discovered. He said, on behalf of the Nigerian government, an official congratulations for a gold mine discovery that the international community, especially Washington, viewed as a potential sanction-busting economic lifeline for a terrorist. So he congratulated him and said, don't worry, we are here. So if you look at that, the U.S. congressional report identifying Nigeria as the world desolate country for Christians was heading to the White House. At that same time, Nigeria was about to be in the crosshairs of the Trump administration religious freedom accountability framework. And in the middle of all that, the Nigerian government was now sending official congratulatory message to Tehran for doing what? For finding a gold deposit that everyone in Washington, D.C. understood could help Iran resist the very sanctions that they were supposed to be pressuring them to stop sponsoring terrorism. Do you understand what is happening? Because you will always find Nigeria in a crooked way. Nigeria also have another connection with Iran because Nigeria supports a diplomatic solution to Iran's nuclear file. In that same December, please, when I finish this connection, I will pass the mic so that I don't lose my line of thought. Just bear with me. Immediately I finish the connections of Iran and Nigeria, I will pass the mic, please. I can see David, you want to speak. Just give me some time. King David, I'll give you the mic. And every other person that may want to contribute, please, if you are joining, kindly share the space. God bless you as you share the space. And please, if you have donation for a space donation, Guinea, feel free. We are here. 1 AJ, I will collect. 1 AJ, I will collect. So, go back to December 17. All this thing, we tweeted it. Yeah, King David, just let me give you the mic before network will kick you out. King David, just give me time. Let me finish this connection. I'll give you the mic so that I don't lose my line of thought, okay? Thank you for understanding. All right. So now you could see that in that December 17 meeting that they had, you could see that the Nigeria's ambassador formally stated that Nigeria supported, listen to the words that he used, that Nigeria supported diplomatic solutions to Iran's nuclear file. Oh my God. Look at those 5 words need to be decoded as I speak to you. Diplomatic solutions to Iran's nuclear file. This was the statement from Nigeria's ambassador on December 17. Because the Nigerian government, terrorist government, and Iranian diplomats in that room understood exactly what they meant. Even if the public did not, they understood what they were talking about. Iran's nuclear file. What? That is international diplomatic term for the ongoing global negotiations and confrontations over Iran nuclear weapon program. That is the term that they use codedly. So Iran has been enriching uranium, which is the key step in building a nuclear bomb. My people, do we have uranium in Nigeria? I need thumbs up. Do we have uranium in Nigeria? Thank you, Minister 1 million. We have it. Do you see where they are exporting your uranium to? Do you see while the Boko Haram, while they are taking over your territory that has uranium, do you know how much they sell a kilo of it to Iran? Just to do what? Build this, have this, their nuclear weapon program. We need to be smart to connect what is happening. Do you see what is happening? Nigeria is the hub for terrorism in West Africa. These people have strategized. Now, so they have used this uranium to keep building a nuclear bomb in defiance of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and multiple UN Security Council resolution, because UN had to overlook, because UN is part of this, they overlooked it while this was going on. So the IAEA, the United Nations body that monitors these nuclear weapons, they overlooked it and allowed Iran to continue in what they were doing because they were giving them support, you know, they were giving them support in what they were doing. So as of late 2025, this last year that just passed, IAEA report indicated that Iran had accumulated enough highly enriched uranium to potentially build multiple nuclear warheads if it chooses to process the material to weapon great levels. So Iran was ready to level the whole world. And most of the uranium came from Nigeria. And if you look at that, I say take note of the 5 words: diplomatic solutions to Iranian nuclear file. We have just talked on the nuclear file. Now let's look at the diplomatic solution. What exactly is this diplomatic solution, which Nigeria officially endorsed? Because Nigeria can never endorse in anything that is good. They can never. So it means we want international negotiation to resolve this issue, not military pressure, not sanction that will strangle Iran's economy. Did you hear that? And above all, not the United States or Israel taking military actions against Iran's nuclear program. That is why they said diplomatic solution. I'm going to read what the ambassador said. Ambassador said, we said, on December 17 that they are supporting diplomatic solution to Iran nuclear file, not war, so that nothing will temper what Iran is trying to build. Nothing. They don't want United States or Israel to take any military action against their nuclear program. What they want is diplomatic solution. But publicly stating it, support that they are supporting diplomatic solution, Nigeria was sending a clear signal to Tehran, which is the capital of this Iran. We are on your side in the argument about whether America has the right to stop your nuclear program by force or not. So Nigeria was not neutral in this. Nigeria was actively lobbying for a diplomatic solution, not a military one. Because they know that if America succeeds, that none of them will survive, including the snake that the head has been cut off. I don't know if you are getting the connection. So they were actively lobbying. And part of that was what they paid the lobbying to do in the United States of America. The DCI, I told you they have 3 lobbying firms. So it's an official diplomatic level for Iran to be left alone to continue what they were doing. You see what Nigeria is good at? They are always good at evil. Very good at evil. This is even the devastating irony that the Nigerian mainstream media will never articulate. This same Nigeria, the one that was publicly backing Iran's right to pursue its nuclear program without military interference, is the country whose government the United States Congress has officially identified as the world's most dangerous place to practice Christianity. The country whose Sharia Council have told America law that they can never back down from practicing their Sharia. That country was telling the world, leave Iran alone. Let them keep their nuclear program. We support them. That is what Nigeria was telling the whole world. Did you read the memo that they released? So incoherent in their memo, beating about the bush. Meanwhile, inside them, they are crying that the snake head has been cut off. Domi is saying, oh, he died as a jihadist. I say, you are the next in line. Your cry never starts. They are mourning. They are panicking. Iran and Nigeria, my people, did you know that Iran was in ECOWAS? Ask me, what is Iran doing in ECOWAS? Iran in ECOWAS. What was a Middle Eastern regime? What was it doing inside African trade bloc? Tell me, who took Iran there? We know that Iran is you see, they are even doing protests in Nigeria over the killing of their their leader. If you go to Sahara Reporters, you will see it. What a shame. This is the reason that the only solution to this nonsense is to divide Nigeria. They are doing protests, carrying Iran flag. Meanwhile, terrorists are killing their people. And the stupid citizens are busy planning for 2027. So Iran is in ECOWAS. What is Iran doing in ECOWAS? We know when ECOWAS was established in 1975 by the Treaty of Lagos, its 15 member states are exclusively West African nations. We know Ghana, Senegal, and all of them. We know them very well. And ECOWAS was built by West Africans for West Africa with a specific mandate of promoting economic integration and regional trade, even security cooperation as well, with their headquarters in the terrorist Abuja. So Iran is not a West African country. Iran is not Africa at all. Iran is a Middle Eastern Persian nation, located more than 6,000 kilometers away from West Africa. So Iran has no business inside ECOWAS. Yet, in December 17, 2025 meeting, Iranian ambassador to Nigeria stated explicitly that he serves simultaneously as Iranian representative to ECOWAS. I'm like, what are you telling me? What are you telling me? And he accredited it to both Nigeria and ECOWAS regional body. My people, are you seeing why even African Union cannot condemn the genocide happening in Nigeria? ECOWAS itself cannot condemn it because everybody that makes up the membership of ECOWAS are terrorists. They are all members of the OIC. They are all members of the D8. They are all franchised from Iran. What is Iran doing in ECOWAS? You see? So rather than questioning this extraordinary arrangement, rather than saying, hold on, ECOWAS is for West African nation, and Iran has no membership status in ECOWAS. Did you hear what your Nigerian foreign minister official said? He sat in that meeting and did not challenge it. So they treated it as a legitimate diplomatic engagement. And they discussed cooperation through ECOWAS channel as a natural part of Nigeria-Iran bilateral engagement. What is Iran doing in ECOWAS? How is that even possible? For us to answer that, because that question now, that the answer requires understanding the difference between full membership and observer status in international organization. ECOWAS does grant observer status to non-West African entities. And the only one they could say was Iran. Yes, the only one they could see was Iran. They gave Iran through its diplomatic relationship with ECOWAS member states, particularly Nigeria. The bloc's most powerful economy has managed to position its ambassador as an official inter-member with ECOWAS community. Observer status in a regional organization gives a country access. Remember when Nigeria was also an observer in OIC for 17 good years, they still had to wait until Babangida said, oh yeah, Nigeria has officially become a member of OIC. So it gives Iran that eyes and ears inside West Africa's most powerful regional body. It gives Tehran the intelligence about ECOWAS security decision and also funding. It gives the opening ears to Iran to hear economic agreements and even political development across the 15 West African nations. So if you think about what Iran does with this intelligence, oh my God, chai. Think about what they do. I'm going to chip in the little that I know. When you pick the mic, you can expand on it as well. Because Iran's Revolutionary Guard have something to do with it. The same force that was conducting training operation in KANU and Sokoto has been documented by US intelligence as operating proxy and intelligence network across sub-Saharan region. And Donald Trump made reference to them. They should drop whatever they are doing, that they will get immunity. Hezbollah has been documented smuggling diamonds into Syria alone, laundering money in Congo, and recruiting Nigerians for operation in Lebanon. An Iranian diplomat with ECOWAS access is not just attending trade meetings, or no. He is mapping relationship. He is identifying opportunities and reporting back to a regime whose entire foreign policy is built around expanding its ideological and strategic Islamic influence across the whole world. And Nigeria, who is the founding nation of ECOWAS, the country whose capital hosts ECOWAS headquarters, the biggest economy in the bloc, not only allowed this arrangement, but was actively celebrating it. That Iran is a member of ECOWAS in 2025 meeting that they had. Nigeria was using this position as ECOWAS dominant power to facilitate Iran's penetration of a body that was supposed to be exclusively for the benefit of West African people. So while Christians in Nigeria, in Middle Belt, were being killed with the weapons that nobody was accountable for, Nigerian government was helping a state sponsor of international terrorism to build influence inside West Africa political and security architecture. What is Iran doing in West Africa, ECOWAS? What is Iran doing there? Now, there is another connection with Bianca Ojukwu. Yes, Bianca Ojukwu, the widow of Ojukwu. Yes. Go back to the news in February 13 this year, less than 3 weeks ago. Bianca Ojukwu had a second high-level engagement with Iran's diplomatic mission. Have you remembered that this same Iran had a visit to Hope Uzodinjo? Yes, after Boris Johnson left. So this meeting was not conducted by the main foreign minister. No, they shifted it to Bianca Ojukwu to conduct the meeting. The wife of late Ojukwu, we know him very well. So on that February 13, Bianca Ojukwu sat across the Iran's diplomatic officials and was shining her teeth like the woman that is in the packet of close-up and cabin biscuit. And according to the Voice of Nigeria official report of that meeting, both countries reaffirmed their dedication to constructive engagement and South-South cooperation. Hey! South-South cooperation. Now, my people, the 7th Nigerian-Iran joint meeting was confirmed to be held in Abuja. And plans for Iran-Nigerian cooperation in cancer treatment services and scholarship for Nigerian students to study in Iran was also formally discussed in that meeting. And the meeting ended with both parties, giving support and affirming the depth and importance of Nigerian and Iranian relationship. Now, let's just, sit with this for a moment and then pull ourselves together, because the symbolism here is almost unbearable for anyone who understands Biafran history. Yeah. Because the man who declared Biafra independence in 1966 was responding to a pattern of Nigerian governance that put certain religious and ethnic interests above others, that allowed the massacre of Biafran people in the north in 1966 without accountability. And that structured the Nigerian state in ways that marginalized our people. And Ojukwu said, enough. And he declared a Republic of Biafra. He led the war that millions of people died. And in 2026, his widow is the face of Nigerian diplomacy, facilitating alliance between the Nigerian government and the Islamic Republic of Iran, a regime that the United States Congress own report linked to Islamic ecosystem that enables the persecution of Christians who are Biafrans in Nigeria today. It is terrible. It is a very big shame. A very big shame. I condemn Tinubu, who appointed this woman here, and to the whole Nigerian system that placed this woman here in that their group. It is a shame on her that on that fateful day, the most recognizable Biafran name in Nigerian public life, Odumego Ojukwu, was used to give a human Biafran seemingly non-threatening face to a foreign policy that was deepening Nigeria's relationship with the world-leading state sponsor of terrorism. At the exact same time that Christians in Biafra land, that Christians in the Middle Belt, that Christians in northern Nigeria were being persecuted and killed. And now that regime is gone. The Iranian government that Nigeria was cutting with, whose ambassador was receiving gratitude for gold deposit, with their nuclear program Nigeria was defending, with their filtration in ECOWAS, has been struck from the earth. The snake head cut off. And Nigeria is left now explaining to Washington why it was building a strategic alliance with a country that America just spent hundreds of billions of dollars and enormous military power destroying for being a global sponsor of terrorism. What a shame to Bianca Ojukwu. What a shame to that woman. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. I hear you.
Okay, let me just leave it here so that King David will have what to say before I continue. Yeah, King David, you have the mic. Are you there? My co-host, you were kicked out. Wait, let me send it to you again. King David, are you there? Hello, King David. King David, we cannot hear you. Ah, where could he be? Oh? My co-host, are you there?
I'm here. I'm here. They kicked me out before.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
They,
Yeah,
they, they know that I don't tolerate. And probably somebody that is misbehaving is here. I haven't found that person.
okay. Yeah, you have
Thank
the
you.
mic before I continue. Yeah, I don't know where King David is. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tutos, for that. Uh, this elaborate of what is happening and what we'll be expecting to have in Biafra nation. At the same time, how those people who are damn wicked, supporting the terrorists in Nigeria against Christians in Nigeria and Biafra Christians. What is going to befall them when the time comes? And we know that they have been in support of and they're part of OIC at the same time. As you said, I don't even understand why someone that is having thousands miles away become ECOWAS among ECOWAS because they know their plan and their missions. As I earlier said, this Iran was former Persia in the Bible that all our Christian brothers and sisters are reading every day. Persia is now Iran because they conquer it. Are you going to fold your hands for them to take over your ancestral land and turn your country, Biafra land, to another name? That will not happen. Not when Briggy is absolutely involved. Do the diplomatic work for our recognitions and others that will follow. And we hope that the only thing that is left for us now is to fund our liberation, fund Biggie very well to carry out all the duties that is set out. Because without it, without funding, we don't want to stay more longer time fighting for this thing. We want to get it once and for all. And in retrospect, hope has come for the minority Christians in the northern part and Midwest. So it depends on them, others like the western area, although those people, they have been dominated by Islam anyway, but it depends on them if our door will be open in future for them because they are absolutely betrayal of what we stand for. I'm sure now they will be shocked and surprised. Let them continue what they are doing. But we Biafrans, we are going, and Briggy is doing the real thing, working assiduously to make sure that what we want, we will get it and it will come to pass. It will be a history that they stood firm without shaking and they fought the battle and they brought the liberation and recognition to Biafra land. And at the same time, those the Indian Zaman that have gone to the other side of the world. Anyway, that's what I believe they have done. And those who are sitting on the fence will collapse on their in their presence. And when the fence collapse, by the time they are coming to us, maybe we'll just accept them. But that room for us to trust you will not be there because you'll be a betrayer. We don't want after getting our nation, those people that has betrayed come into the system and be an eye to the outside world of the wicked, evil people to come again to our land. That will not happen. For that to happen, at least that judgment of Singapore must be upon them and to their generations, even to their children's children forever. I am telling you the truth. You will just be there, you'll be renewing your something every year, every 30 years, or 5 years, it depends. Because you refuse to support. You were hanging and waiting for that opportune time when your spirit will say go. Put our money-mindedness aside, business issue, that we Biafrans we lack money, so we do business. We forget about fighting for our rights. That will not happen in our time. When Biafra comes, we will start firm. Everything will be regulated. There will be no Jupiter that will pass the back door and get what you want. No, no, no. You must follow the protocol. Follow the protocol, and if you are successful, that's it. There is nothing like, oh, my brother is in that post. Let me pass through my brother. Both you and your brother, you will be disgraced and be taken out of that place because there will be no sentiment of family relations in the government. So also here, all this, I want this one to be here, I want this one to be there. What do you call that that language, that English again? You like this person, you don't like this person. That would be another story for you who is bent on that attitude. We don't want that. If you like somebody in your own domain, not when the government is involved in the government parastatals or anywhere. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And I'm sure David Nana is here now and the others who would like to speak. I hit my mic. Thank you very much.
Okay, King David, are you there?
Yes, can
Yeah,
you
I
hear
can hear
me?
you. You have the mic. Go ahead, please. Welcome.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, our sister tutors. Great work you are doing for the Biafran people. Thank you for your well-detailed opening remark, submissions. You nailed it. As a matter of fact, that is why we call you the tutorial mistress. You just explained it to the layman to understand the dangerous precedence or the dangerous position that Iran occupy in the world. As everybody in this platform knows, Iran is the number one in the terrorist index. Iran is the number one sponsor of terrorism all over the world, not in the Middle East, all over the world. So Iran is the number one sponsor of terrorism all over the world. So if there is anybody that should be happy about the action that have been taken against this Iranian terrorism and terrorists, it is the whole world. Everybody should be joyful. Everybody should be celebrating that the number one sponsor of terrorism in the world has been taken out. But are you seeing such celebration in Nigeria? Are you seeing such celebration that is expected of people who understand the position of Iran in the world, that Iran has killed not tens, not 20s, thousands and millions of innocent lives because Iran thrives on terrorism? Iran thrives on killings of innocent women, children, fathers, mothers, name it. Iran is even against Western. Sorry, I was being distracted. So Iran, even Iranians, if Iranians can so much celebrate the taking out of all these terrorists, then you will now understand what Iran has done to its people, talk less of the people around the world who they have exported their terrorism to. For 47 years, you had the speech. I don't know whether you played the speech of the best president of the world, President Donald Trump. Iran has been terrorizing the world for complete 47 years. Not 47 days, not 47 months. Since the reign of Ayatollah Khamenei or whatever he's called, Iran has been terrorizing the world, terrorizing America, terrorizing Israel, and all its allies. And every president that have come as the president of the United States have always promised to deal with Iran because they understand what Iran does. They understand that Iran is intimidating the world. And if Iran can intimidate the world when they don't have nuclear weapons, when they don't have destructive weapons that can destroy an entire nation, you can imagine what Iran could do if they were allowed to develop nuclear warheads. In fact, Iran can wake up one morning and throw it in Israel to exterminate the Jews, because from time immemorial, Iran has vowed to destroy Israel. If you listen to President Trump's speech, you saw how many days, I think he said 400 days, that the Americans were held hostage by the Iranian terrorist regime. I think during the Obama administration. A lot of sailors were captured. Iran have dealt with America citizens. Even in the October 7 massacre that happened in Israel, a lot of Americans were involved. A lot of lives were lost. This is part of the atrocities that Iran have continued to unleash on the world. So I am so happy, and I hope you are as well. I hope you are so appreciative of what Donald Trump and the Prime Minister of Israel did in taking out these terrorists that have held the world hostage for a very long time. You see the Middle East, Hezbollah, and all of them, all these proxies that are terrorizing Israel. Whatever you see happening all around the world, Iran has one hand or the other. Their hand is there, their leg is there, their arms are there. Everything that you can think of when it comes to terrorism, Iran is the financier. And that is why we are so glad that the Americans took them out as well. And it boils also to what is happening in that evil contraction we called Nigeria. Just like our sister enumerated, we all understood when Hope Uzodimma brought in the Iranian ambassador to Nigeria to Imo State. What do you think they were discussing? When Nigeria goes to Iran to have bilateral talks with them, what do you think they are talking about? Are they talking about building infrastructure? Are they talking about building roads for you? They are talking about how the Islamization agenda can be fast-tracked. Yes. They are discussing the modalities, how they are going to carry out their terrorism, and make sure that Nigeria is converted in Islamic State, because they want to take the blueprint from Iran, because they know that Iran have the capabilities and the capacities to teach them, to train them on what to do, how to go about it. And that is why you saw Nigeria running through and fro to Iran, bringing them to Nigeria in order for them to know how they are going to use terrorism to conquer the indigenous people, aside enriching their uranium facilities, aside trying to see how they can establish their base in the northern Nigeria, where they are getting to get more money and fund their terrorism. So my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, this is time to celebrate, because the bad guys that have held the world hostage, the bad guys who are advising Nigerian government how they are going to Islamize you, how they are going to take over our indigenous populations, how they are going to invade our communities, overrun us and take us over. The bad guys have been taken out. And we have to appreciate the president of the world, Donald Trump, and the Prime Minister of Israel for taking that bold step in doing the needful. If you go onto social media right now, you can see how some Iranians are celebrating. Some ran into exile. Some ran into exile because of the atrocities that their government are committing. Just like you and I are in exile because of the atrocities of the Nigerian state against us. It's the same way Iranians were exiled by their terrorist government. And that is why I believe that the fall of this terrorist Iranian regime is the beginning of the fall of the terrorist Nigerian state. So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to Biafrans all over the world to continue to support the Biafran Republic government in exile, our Prime Minister, Mazi Ogechukwu Nkere. Recently, you saw a bill that was passed. What America is doing in the world today is what Biafra will do when Biafra is fully restored. So we need to support BRGIE. We need to support our Prime Minister because they are doing the needful. We have only one government. We have only one leader. And under that leadership, we are going to be free out of the terrorist Nigerian state. This is very, very important. So today is another town hall meeting. The UK will be hosting Biafrans. Please come on board and support your freedom. Thank you so much. I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, King David. Yes, you see, your submission was a top notch. Thank you so very much. You know that this, before we go to talk about our government, because our government have played a very big role here, a prominent one that we have to connect. Just when I finish, because something just entered my brain now, I said, okay, let me also bring to the notice of our listeners, because the Nigerian mainstream media will never connect this for them. They will only read the headline. In fact, they cannot even talk about this because they've removed history from their curriculum. Yes, no more history. The only history they want you to know is about how to practice Sharia. But what have they been doing before the existence of this Sharia is missing. Iran have a deep influence in Nigeria. That is what I want to let our people know. And you have to, before you understand the influence that Iran has in Nigeria, you have to understand the Islamic movement of Nigeria. IMN, that is the abbreviation that they are using. And you also have to understand the leader of this group, Ibrahim Zazaki. That is the information that the Nigerian government will never let you know, so that you don't ask questions. Shia Islam was virtually unknown, because I just said, okay, let me research more and understand what this thing is happening, because it has a serious connection with Iran and Nigeria. There's what they call Shia Islam, and they started in 1979, and it was a zero. They did not have members. Then during the Iranian revolution, when it happened, a young student by this name called Ibrahim Zazaki, he was studying in Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, became inspired by this Ayatollah, this snakehead that has been cut off. He became inspired by his vision, and you already know what his vision is, to spread Islam everywhere. The jihadist part of it, gone, gone, gone. So this guy went to Iran. He went to Iran and he came back as a converted Shia cleric, with just one goal that he came back to do, to replicate the Iranian Islamic revolution inside Nigeria, which has been the inspiration of Ayatollah, this naked that has been cut off here. So This man came back to Nigeria and he built this Islamic movement of Nigeria from scratch. You know, these terrorist people, they always love to see someone that will take over from them. So starting in that 1980s, and it has grown into an organization with an estimated number. Do you know the population? 5 million followers across northern Nigeria. And it also have branches all in the 35 states. So the Islamic movement of Nigeria is not a religious organization in the conventional sense. No, it operates as a state within a state. And it has leadership across Nigeria. It has its own armed wing that conducts military parade. They have their own school. They have their own hospital. They have their own social services. Funded by who? This Iran. Because they are funded by Iran, they have created their own dependency and loyal among Nigerian poorest community. They operate their own media as we are talking like this, and they reject Nigerian democracy and the Nigerian constitution as anti-Islamic. These are the people that come out and tell you that they are not afraid of United States of America. They can never stop their Sharia. Do you see what is happening? So this group is there, and you know, the connection between this Zazaki and Iran were all documented because this guy has met with this snake that has been, the head has been cut off, Ayatollah, multiple times in recent years. And I want the US people, of course, they have the intelligence, they know how to track these people. Anybody that had connection with this man should be tracked and arrested immediately. Few months ago, this same man met with this Iranian president, and he told Zazaki, the Islamic movement is expanding in Africa. It is expanding in Europe. It is expanding in North America. This was not a courtesy visit that this man went. This Zazaki went and met with this Iranian president. It was an operational meeting between a commander and his African representative, because Zazaki has become his representative in Africa. And which part of Africa? In West Africa. And in which part of West Africa is Nigeria that is the scum for terrorists? So America's West Point Combating Terrorism Center documented that the IRGC, that is Iran's Revolutionary Guard, that the same force that America bombed yesterday, had established training centers for these Zazaki militants in KANU and Sokoto. Do you now understand why US had to bomb Sokoto? Do you now understand why US said have to sanction Kwankwaso? Kwankwaso was the governor of KANU State when he established Sharia. A lot of people don't know the intelligence that the United States of America has. And they are coming out to say, hey, why Kwankwaso? They know who Kwankwaso is. Even the Northern Allied, they know who Kwankwaso is and his role in Islamizing Nigeria, his role in implementing Sharia. So they had established training center for these Zazaki militants in Kano and in Sokoto. And Iran's Hezbollah has been recruiting and training Nigerian Shia men. Did you see? To expand their operational presence in Nigeria. And it uses as a base to thwart Israel and Western ambition in the region. So it was a good thing for the United States of America to bomb and cut off the head of this man. Because if you look at the report from source that is very, very close to Hezbollah commanders, they cited it in this Middle East Institute. It says that the IRGC, which is the Iran Revolutionary Guard, and Hezbollah have also been documented engaging in diamond smuggling and money laundering across West Africa, especially in Nigeria, to fund their operations. So now, the connection the mainstream media will never make is the same that this what is it called, this IMN that Iran funds and directs in northern Nigeria operates in the same northern state where Nigerian Christians are being persecuted. Now look at what is happening in Zaria. How many were massacred in 2015 when the Nigerian military killed at least 348 members of this Zazaki group in a brutal crackdown. It happened in Kaduna State. Kaduna State is where Christians have been massacred. What am I trying to say? All these attacks that happened, the people that were responsible was Zazaki group, because they have a lot of millions of militias working under them, and they are on the payroll. When Erufai come out and tell you that the Nigerian government is placing terrorists on a payroll, this is what we are talking about. I don't know if I'm making the connection very clear. I don't know. So this group now, this Zazaki group, rallies and the Shia Sunni tensions that Iran deliberately inflames in northern part of Nigeria are part of the same ecosystem of religious extremism that has consumed the Middle Belt and the North, and also in Biafra land. So Iran is not an innocent bystander in Nigerian religious violence. Iran is the co-architect of this environment in which our people are being killed. So anybody coming out, as I've seen now, they are protesting in Niger State because of the killing of their supreme leader. Their cry is just starting. These are the members of the IMN because their leader is gone. Do you get the point? Okay, David, your hand is up again before we go to our government. Well, let me give you the mic. Yeah, you have the mic now. Are you there? King David, are you there? Uh-oh. King David, are you there? I've sent the mic. Ah, I can't hear him. Oh. I think today's space is just me, King David, and my co-host. I don't know if I made a if I committed crime to open space today. You people are leaving the talking for me. Okay, now no problem. We continue, but share the space as you are joining. King David, I've sent the mic, but you are not on mic again. Okay, now you know the US and Nigeria have signed a security agreement. I just want us to touchlight that before we go to our government, because this is different from the report. So, you know, Rallimore celebrated this US-Nigeria Security Cooperation Agreement, and that was on February 7th. And I want to explain exactly what this agreement is and what it is not, because a lot of people are beginning to get confused, and why it does not do what Rallimore seems to believe it does, and why understanding this gap is very, very essential for each and every one of us and every Christian in Nigeria that is listening to this space or will listen to it later. Because the agreement is not a formal signed military treaty. No. It is not a kind of a formal defense pact. No. That will say, okay, the United States has a with South Korea or Japan. No. Okay. Now, if you go back to what happened in October 31st, 2005, that 2025, that President Trump designated Nigeria as CPC, okay, it triggered a lot of diplomatic crisis. Everybody was like, what is going on? So the Nigerian government, they were panicking. They did two things simultaneously. And what did they do? They hired a lobbying firm, which they had to spend a lot of money to fight back against the designation. And they also sent a high-level delegation to Washington, D.C. to try to escalate the claim. And one of such person that led that delegation was this terrorist, Ribadu, the man who has come out today to tell you that terrorists are their brothers. And when he went, he met with the US Congress, and he also met with the White House Fed Office and the State Department. Now, don't be confused. Now, at those meetings, the terrorist country, Nigeria, they did three things in that meeting. First thing that they did was to deny the genocide narrative, and they called it violence. They denied it. And they offered to cooperate on a counter-terrorism. So they agreed to the formation of a joint working group. I want us to understand this US joint working group. how it came about, so that we don't mix it up with the report that Ralimo submitted to President Trump a few days ago. Now, this joint working group had its first session in January 22nd this year in Abuja with this same Rubadu and a US secretary, Under Secretary of State, Allison. He was there. So separately, on December 25th, we saw Trump airstrike on the terrorists in Sokoto. And in January 2026, African Commander confirmed the deployment of a small US military team inside Nigeria, the first official acknowledgement of US troops on Nigeria soil under Donald Trump order. Okay, now, so the agreement that the Congress more celebrated is a joint working group, a non-binding cooperation framework, a small US troop. This is what they signed, an intelligence sharing and some early warning symptom system support. And it sounds meaningful, very, very meaningful. A transformation of Nigerian Christian safety. No, that has not happened. And now, here is why we have to understand what the agreement does not and cannot do, which now propelled him to really intensify his report that he has submitted to Donald Trump. Because the US Joint Working Group can help Nigerian military better target ISWAP cells in the northeastern part. And it can improve intelligence. I want you to listen to what it can do. It can improve intelligence about Boko Haram movement in those areas. It can also train Nigerian military units in counter-terrorism tactics. So all of this is welcoming, yes, we know. But look at what the Nigerian delegation explicitly did in those Washington meetings. Look at what they did. They strongly rejected allegations of genocide and insisted that violence affects communities across religious and ethnic lines. They rejected it. So they are now telling that, you know, as the price of this security cooperation, that Nigeria successfully convinced Washington to accept the framing that there is no, specifically anti-Christian persecution, that it is just a generalized violence affecting everyone equally. That is what Nigeria went to that meeting to do in Washington, D.C. So, and that was the result we saw, the joint working group framework that does not require Nigeria to repeal Sharia criminal codes. I want you to listen what that framework cannot do. It does not require Nigeria to repeal Sharia criminal codes. It does not require Nigeria to disarm Fulani militia. It does not require Nigeria to hold accountable the perpetrators of Christian massacre in Plateau, or in Borno, or in Benue, or even in Biafra land. It does not require Nigeria to remove professor of Islamization of knowledge from control of the national school curriculum. This is the man that Tinubu brought to I'm coming. But take note of the name. Professor of Islamization of knowledge from control of the national school curriculum. It does not require Nigeria to withdraw from OIC. It does not prevent Nigeria from continuing to build a strategic alliance with Iran, which Nigeria was doing at the same time as this security cooperation meeting. Now, if you go back to Al Jazeera in February that just passed, it's February 19 to be precise. If you go back to the analysis of this development, it was very blunt, because Al Jazeera quoted security analyst Kebe saying that the Tinubu government has been successful in de-escalating the Trump threat. Remember, this Al Jazeera never reported the genocide going on in Nigeria, but they came out and quoted what this analyst said, that Tinubu government has successfully de-escalated the Trump threat, but that the challenge is that Abuja has not been transparent enough about the process. I want us to understand why the terrorists are still killing people. So at what cost did the government do this? Another analyst also warned that allowing US military footprint in Nigeria, however limited, that Tinubu had added a US military presence that risked deepening instability by broadening the conflict ideological scope. I'm quoting him. So in other words, what I understand is that even critical Nigerian security experts see this agreement as a political maneuver by Tinubu, not a genuine commitment to protecting Christian lives. That is what Al Jazeera reported. Al Jazeera of all news channels. Now, if you look at our assessment as Biafra Republic government in exile, you will see that the Security Cooperation Agreement was Nigeria's successful defensive move against CPC designation and the congressional report. So what Nigeria did, Nigeria neutralized the immediate threat of US sanction by offering limited security cooperation. You see what they did? So it now gave Washington something it wanted, which was counter-terrorism partnership. They think that US is stupid. They think that they are smart. Without giving Washington what Christians actually need, which is that structural reform, which is Sharia repeal and accountability for perpetrators, and for them to disarm the militia. So they think that they are smart, you see. So the Nigerian government played this situation brilliantly from their own perspective, and they use it to buy time. I don't know if you are following what I'm trying to say here. They use this to buy time, and it did so while simultaneously deepening its alliance with Iran. That is the double game I'm trying to explain here. And the ones who pay the price for that double game that Nigeria played are the Christians. They are the Christians in Plateau. They are the Christians that are being killed every day. Do you get what I am saying? So, what did our government do? What did they do? I saw somebody's hand up, or I don't know. Solomon, I can't find you again.
No hands is suffered at the moment.
Okay, because my screen is blank. So, that now takes us to our government. What our government has actually built in Washington, D.C. So, if you are sitting on the fence, I don't know what you are doing on the fence. If the Nigerian government is playing double game, appearing to cooperate with Washington on security, and at the same time deepening its alliance with Iran, at the same time facilitating its Islamization blueprint and protecting the Sharia system that is killing Christians in Nigeria, then who has been genuinely fighting for those Christians in Washington, D.C.? Who has been the real advocate in the rooms that matters? Who has been building the case? Meeting by meeting, relationship by relationship, that brought Nigeria to its current moment of international accountability? The answer is no other government than the Biafra Republic government in exile, under the Prime Minister of His Excellency NKERE, the only body that went to Washington, D.C., not to defend Nigerians' image, but to build the evidence base and political relationship that make Biafrans, freedom, and Christian persecution to come to an end, because we are fighting it. It must end, and it will end with disintegration of Nigeria. That is what it's going to be, because they cannot stop Sharia. So the end will be, okay, Biafrans, go, take your flag, and the prophecy of Onyendu will definitely come to pass very soon. Our government has achieved a lot. Our government is not a sleeping government. The first achievement, I'm going to take it very brief because we have a lot of achievement. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, the highest office ever reached by any Biafran leader, our Ogechukwu Nkere, His Excellency, secured a face-to-face meeting with Congressman Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the United House of Assembly. My Prime Minister, how was his palm? Was it soft or rough? Oh my goodness me. I wonder how you felt when you were shaking his hand. Oh my God. His palm mete or dry like this, my palm. Oh my God. What an experience. Ngozi cannot do this one. Emma cannot, even Okomas, they cannot shake the hand of this man. Hey, my Prime Minister, thank you so much. So, my people, This matters so much for those of, who don't really want to appreciate what our government is doing. The Speaker of the House is the presiding officer of the most powerful legislative body in the world. The Speaker controls legislative agenda of the US Congress. So no bill, no appropriations, no sanction becomes law without passing through the House that the Speaker manages. It is not possible. Meeting with Speaker means you have access to the person who controls whether legislation affecting Nigeria ever comes to a vote. So in 56 years of the Biafran independence struggle, from the time of Odomego, that is 1966, till today, no Biafran leader, none, no Biafran organization or group, or even saboteurs group had ever brought the Biafra cause into a direct engagement with an American official at that level. Biafra Republic government in exile did it. Speaker Mike Johnson received our Prime Minister, His Excellency Ogechukwu Nkere, engaged the Biafran cause seriously and presented a very good commemorative gift bearing the official insignia of the office of the Speaker. Oh, our Prime Minister, I salute you. No one has done it, and this has been the desire of our Onyendu. Biafra is on the table. Don't mind those touts telling you Biafra is not the table. They want us to keep the flag of Biafra on the table. Where is your charter? What is that? Each of those Congress persons have a charter. What is that? Is it Nigerian charter that is on the table? Do you think they collected it and put in their pockets? Our Prime Minister, His Excellency Ogechukwu Nkere, also met with Senator Cruz, the big man that has thrown his weight on him. That Patrick Smith was saying, you don't know Chris? Let me tell you how serious they are. That the Biafra Republic government in exile have the support of Ted Cruz, the elephant. Ted Cruz is one of the most powerful members of the US Senate. Didn't you read news a few days ago that Trump said he would take him to the judiciary? That he is too intelligent. That is the kind of man that our government is working with. He chairs the Senate Committee on Commerce. He sits on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and he has 15 million social media followers. You see? So these were not just quick photo opportunity meetings. Go to our website, you will see it. These were substantive briefing in which our Prime Minister presented the documented case for the Christian genocide in Nigeria, which is the Biafra cause, and the strategic argument for why an independent Biafra serves American interests in West Africa. Direct result. Bam. Direct. And what did Ted Cruz did? He immediately introduced his bill S2747. Bam. The Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025, which was a blueprint for Rally More to pick up from there. Hey, formally calling for sanctions against Nigeria and Nigerian officials that are responsible for the persecution of Christians. Our Mazi, His Excellency, the Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, acknowledged publicly. Go back and read what our Prime Minister said, because he tweeted it. He said, the discussion of Christian genocide in Nigeria by the US Congress is not accidental. We have promoted this narrative. What I'm telling you, even Nigerian news media carried it too. Our Prime Minister said, we have promoted this narrative. It is highly orchestrated. It is a highly orchestrated effort. I'm reading what he said. So don't joke with our Prime Minister. He's not a small guy. He is not a small man. Don't look at his face. He's not a small man. Where he has reached, you cannot reach. Some of you say fighting him till you die, you cannot reach the gate of Washington, D.C. Not to talk of shaking the hand of the speaker or somebody like Ted Cruz. It is not possible. Because you are all criminals with stained records. So you cannot. We have achieved another one. The Senate Foreign Relations Committee and 5 additional senators. We may not go through all because they are numerous. Our Biafra Republic government in exile briefed member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, including Senator Bryan, And this committee has direct jurisdiction over US foreign policy, including the question of whether America will ever recognize a future independent state like Biafra. And you could see that during February 2025 Washington campaign, our Prime Minister NKERE and his team members also made Senator Bill. Senator Benny of Ohio, Steve of Montana, there are many. All are sitting US senators who were briefed on the Declaration of Independence of Biafra and the case for international support. Our government has also have another achievement. Please be ready to pick the mic. I will not name it all. He had a meeting with Congressman Greg Goldman of Texas. I may not pronounce the name well, but if I murder it, please, I'm sorry. All of them that makes up House Foreign Affairs Committee. And Chris Che is the chair of that committee. The same man that came up and said that Nigeria has what is it called? A culture of denial. The man that had it been he saw Remi face to face, maybe he would have given her a punch. Because he was so angry that you call yourself a pastor's wife and you want to come to a platform, media platform, to lie against the genocide going on in your country. What kind of pastor is that? And I want to answer him, a pastor without a Bible. That's who Remi is. A pastor that is jumping from one, pulpit. She cannot even, a pastor that bought her certificate from Redeemed Christian Church of God. She did not attend Bible college.